Yes.
All right. So little hiccup there for a second. Quick break. Anyway, there is this woman up in the upper left-hand corner, like third floor. And I'm looking
Yeah.
and my friend, she says, "Do you see the man?" And I look over down the way in this other portion of the building. I'm like, mustache? She goes, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Not happy?" She goes, "Yeah." And so I was like, "Okay, do you see the lady?" And she's like, "Yeah." And so we're going back and forth, and our third friend was like, "No idea what you guys are talking about. Like, don't see anything."
Yeah.
But we're both getting hits on the same things, and we're like, all right. It was a lot clearer because there weren't so many people and there wasn't so much energy and things happening, like people being scared and, the jump scares that are happening at the nighttime. And they're all standing there, like looking out the different windows. And like the longer we're there, the more people were in the windows, and mostly little
Wow.
boys, like younger, like teenage and younger. And then the man that was just so angry. There's one girl. Um, it was not good. And finally, you could feel the energy starting to build. And I looked at my friend and I was like, "We got to get out of here." And she's like, "Yep." So we jump in.
Sorry, go ahead.
That's all right. Here, I'll stop sharing this. But this is their website. It's very interesting. They do need to restore it. I really wish they'd find a different way to do it. But anyway, so we jump in the car and we're like, all right, driving off and discussing like what we had saw and what we picked up. And I explained to her, I was like, that woman was murdered. Like, I don't know how, but it was not good. And so we are discussing the man and how he had like control over, like he trapped everybody there. Like he's there making them all stay and punishing them. And like he had pulled them into the middle of the house because he was upset that we saw them all in the windows. And so they were like getting punished at this point. And the more that we're talking about it, the more we realize that quite a few of them were hitchhiking with us. And so I'm like, as I'm trying to explain to her what I was seeing, I just started sobbing. And she's like, "Oh my gosh." Right. So she's trying to pull the energy from me because she knows that she can do this. She's, like I said, she's very strong. So she put her hand here and just started pulling the energy, and she's trying to let them go. But ultimately she had two boys stuck with her. She knew, we both knew of one. He, cute little guy, just like you want to just hug him and take him home and take care of him. He was just so sweet and innocent. But there was one hiding behind him. And it wasn't until after we got home and late that night that it came to me, and he showed himself. And I told her, I was like, "We got to get rid of this." And so over the next couple of days, she sent them off. But it was exhausting and just very emotional. But with that, she's now like an open raw nerve. So it's something that like we definitely need to, help build her ability to block them and to move them on. But
Yeah, so we had a first part when we talked about your nighttime experience. This, just to make sure I'm hearing you right, this is when you girls went in the daytime, right? When there was no tour, nobody was there, you were just walking around the outside.
And we didn't even get close to the building. We were just down in front, like down a hill in front.
And from there you could see all the windows with all the different beings in it. Oh, creepy. I mean, creepy, scary in a way. I mean, that's just, oh my gosh.
I still have chills just telling you about it.
What about, like, I'm curious how your friend that is like kind of new to like opening up to this energy again. How does she help them go to the light, or does she send them back to the house? Like, I would want to save them all and
I
show them
know.
where the light is.
I'm not sure exactly how or what she did, because I recommended sending them to the light, and she said, they didn't want to go. And I told her, I was like, you have to explain to them it's a safe place, that it is real. It's, that man just wanted to keep them there by telling them that it's not a safe place.
Well, yeah, it sounds like he psychologically brainwashed these energies that were supposed to go to the other side to be stuck there. And that's so sad when I hear about these places. I'm like, why don't like professional like mediums go in there like and try to like help them find the light? Because it is really sad when you come across places that there is a ringleader that is a very low vibrational energy that is then taking all the light of these like souls, and literally putting them into a living, or not a living, but
An
a
afterlife
hell.
hell.
Yeah,
Yeah.
other life hell. Like, it's just like, whoa.
Yeah. I feel like it would take a team to
Oh yeah,
get
it
to
sounds
work
like it.
on, like a full team of, I don't know, a couple of ministers, or I
Yeah,
don't, I really don't know.
it would definitely. I agree. I mean, there's
Yeah.
a ton to be said, but yeah, I just like listening to you and feeling this energy. So the one that was the night before, that was in part one that you talked about, that one finally was gone by the time you went back in the daytime,
I
or
think
that one
I
stuck
honestly
around
think
too?
that he might have been the hider, the lurker that attached later, or not later, but he was there
He
all
found his way
along.
back. Okay.
Yeah, and I feel like that he was just a really bad kid,
Yeah.
but he was hiding behind the really good one.
Yeah.
So, and then I went ahead and started doing some research, trying to find out, well, what did happen there.
Yeah. That's what I was going to ask you.
Um, I don't know the true story. I really don't. I should probably read some books. But what I did find was that it's rumored that the boys were treated horribly. They were abused. Some of them disappeared. I guess there was a cemetery somewhere around there. Not sure. But the interesting one that I did find something about was the woman. Um, According to the story that I read, she was a housekeeper person, and a group of boys beat her to death.
Oh my God. In that school?
Mhm. And
What
they,
was the age range in that school?
I don't know,
Okay.
but they never solved the case. They never, nobody was ever punished. They never solved who did it or why or
That
what
seems
happened.
bizarre that they never figured that out. Give
Yeah,
me a
and like I said,
break.
that's just the one thing that I was able to find. I did not take a whole lot of time to do a deep dive. I mean, my life is so hectic right now.
Yeah.
We're lucky to
But
do this right now.
did you see anything about the man that you seem to think that is like the ringleader? Okay.
Not a thing.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's very curious. I mean, I would be curious to do more research on that and just like put all those together, but it sounds like you kind of put some dots together just with that.
He was wearing a
The
suit
lady,
and
that, because I was
tie.
wondering who the lady was.
Yeah, she's a housekeeper. According to, like I said, what I found. But yeah, it was crazy. And like I said, part of me wants to go back, but another part of me is like, like, I don't want to have anything attached to me again, because
Yeah.
I already
Did you
have that
do
issue.
anything? Did you do anything either day to protect yourself going in, or no? I mean, I know the first time you were blindsided, you didn't realize it was going to be like that, really. And the second time, did you do anything? I'm just wondering if that helps or doesn't help, or
I did a little bit. I was, wearing my tourmaline, so, and I put up, some protection, but I never feel like it's as strong as it should be. Like, like after the fact, I always think, oh, I should have done more. But I'm still getting used to this too.
Yeah.
Still
Yeah, of
learning
course.
and adjusting. So
Wow.
I don't know.
Wow, pretty amazing. Well, thanks for sharing all that.
Mhm.
It definitely sounds like an experience. Too bad they couldn't add in some history when they're doing the walkthrough haunted house, because what it sounds like, but maybe I need to look at their website. Maybe they do other tours throughout the year
They
that you
do.
can go through. Okay. To
Yeah.
maybe get the history of it. I'd be curious to go to one about the history, like, how they have it, the Winchester Mystery House or the a Hearst Castle. They talk to you like about like what's going on in each room and stuff. But I definitely was tuned into the energy of that angry guy. And I think he definitely hates October. Well, he doesn't like anybody there except I could feel like his crew that he's brought in on the other side.
Mhm.
But I was picking up on that really strongly when you're talking, and he definitely hates October. I haven't
Yeah.
looked at any of the other months, but I mean, he just thinks that, I mean, it's like a mockery to him of what they're doing. And he takes this like really seriously, whatever he is. I'm wondering if he seems like he was some sort of a leader of some sort, like that, the main, whatever they call those guys that run the whole
Yeah.
schools like that. But I get that vibe from him really strongly when you were talking about all this. So it's curious when all of these downloads come and you start seeing the whole picture and you're like, I haven't even read about this. But now I'm more curious to like read up on it a little bit more and just see. Did you notice that their website said much of anything like that? I mean, I would think that they would, but they just don't. Weird. Well,
No.
I'll still check it out. I still want to see and then look around. But it sounds like an
Yeah.
interesting place for sure. But
And my
yeah,
one,
I wouldn't want attachments either.
yeah, my one friend who actually lives up there, she said she knows one of the little girls that was working there, like all makeup up, she's a kid. And I guess some of what she was told was that you're supposed to actually acknowledge them before going in and, tell them, or ask for permission or somehow acknowledge them, which I didn't know about until later. And at that, I was like, well, isn't that kind of true of any place that there's somebody there that's not wanting to cross over? Like you just kind of always acknowledge them and say, I'm not trying to invade your space. Thank you for letting us come in. But I don't know.
So
It's
are you saying that the little girl that was working on the haunted house was told by everybody else that everybody working this is supposed to ask?
no, I don't know where she got all of the information, my friend that lives there, but I know that she does know this little girl. So therefore she was talking to people that live around there, that work there, that tell her the stories. And that was the other thing is I told her, I was like, don't tell me anything. I don't want to know. And then afterwards, because she's the one who went to Sacramento after. So I didn't get a chance to really talk to her and find out what those stories were.
Okay, so you did want to hear them, but just after you went.
Yes.
That's how I like to do things too. And I
Yeah.
like to, because that's a good way to test your intuition though. And that's the best way to do it is go in, feel it out and get your knowings and feelings and all that. And then go and then see if how right on you were or whatever. I mean, that's the thing that's cool about doing that. And I agree 100% on doing something like that. But yes, I've always kind of had an understanding that you do the same thing. Like that if I've come into a place where I know there's some other energies. I'm like, excuse me, thank you for letting me be in your space. I'm not here just to disrupt you in any way. I'm just walking through this one spot right here. Thank you. Like the whole time I'm like talking as I'm like walking quickly through there because I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to have any like, issues with some energies there that maybe aren't on the best and highest vibe.
Yeah. It
Well,
was
yeah,
definitely
maybe next time,
interesting.
go ahead.
So it's definitely an interesting trip.
Well, next time we'll have to talk about like maybe honing in the intuition stuff more. That would be a cool talk. So this kind of segued me into thinking about that, just asking questions. And even if you wanted to ask your friend if she wanted to be on our call, and if she
Yeah.
had specific questions, and if not, that's fine. you and I could definitely do one and just go through like kind of how to like help other people, how to help yourself tune in to your magic powers, your superpowers,
Yeah.
and
Well,
not be afraid of them and not have them take you down.
yeah. And I've been doubting a lot of my intuition lately too. And not that portion, but more recently, as of like last week, I had a few things happen where I was blindsided by information that I received. And then I was like, wait a minute, like, how could I not have known these things, which I didn't? And come to find out, none of it was true anyway. So then I'm like, well, what am I missing? Am I just not paying attention to the right intuition? Like, there's so many questions that just make
Well, I mean, with being so vague, but the first thing that comes up when I hear that is, when we're in the middle of it, it's harder.
Yeah.
So that's the one thing. I mean, as an intuitive, I still work with other healers. I'm not freaking some deity, floating in space. And, I have to do my work on a daily basis. I have to clear my BS out of my energy field. I have to, get the right amount of sleep and, eat right. And those kind of things will drag you down or twist you up. But whenever I'm stuck in a situation, I just reach out to like my healer friends that work with me and work on me. So that's kind of a common thing. And so I wouldn't not trust your intuition because of something like that. Just to remember that if it's about you, it's usually for most people, like 90% of the time, it's harder for you to see it. And even just by talking it out, sometimes you could go, oh my God, now I see it. I just needed to say it out loud and almost get ourselves into the third party to look in. And I think that's a huge thing when it comes to this. But then also testing yourself, like you were saying, like, I don't want to know about anything. Let me just go in and then come out and then ask the questions and see if I nailed it or not, and test yourself. So I think testing ourselves all the time is huge. Because it helps you then to, one, trust yourself more, and two, also realize when it's time to seek out another party to help you out.
Very true. Thank you. I hadn't thought about it that way in a while.
Yeah, of course.
Just,
My light's all blinking and flashing up here. Anyways, it's like a strobe light.
well, it's probably time to get going too, because
Yeah, I was gonna say, but think of your questions, save your questions, and ask about that for the next call, about intuition and how to strengthen it more. And also, if your friend wants to join us, she's more than welcome to come on and, of course, ask questions or get a mini kind of session in regards to it, to help her pull out more of her magic.
definitely. All right, well, awesome. Thank you. It's so good catching up. Like, I
Oh my
miss
gosh,
you.
you too, as always. Love you, and until next time.
I love you too. Okay.
Bye.